pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Baltimore Ravens and the Miami Dolphins. Here we go. The final week of the NFL season. Week 17 is underway.
And that drives coaches insane, doesn't it? When they see that happen, it just doesn't feel right, does it? Plus, you're giving up yardage.
Detroit! Now let's go! Green 39! Green 39!
This is Collins on the handoff. And he'll push this forward only to about the 42-yard line. The tackle by Robert Quinn.
Defensively here, you're facing a top-5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20, because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored, you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
Second down, Jackson escaping the pressure right. And he finds a man on a crossing route. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. A very solid gain of 27.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start, getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
Jackson. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete. Crabtree the target on that one, and that'll bring up second down.
Pressure, and that's certainly going to be a key to this game going forward. And that time, they were able to get in there and influence the throw. And remember, quarterbacks got to get rid of it. They don't have the Tucker rule that they can fall back on anymore.
Here's 2nd and 10 now from about the 32. Again on 2nd and 10, it's Jackson. And down he goes. They sack him back right around the 41-yard line. Robert Quinn in there to drop him, and it'll be a loss of about 8. And some secondary help here for the defense in the nickel on 3rd and long. They snap it at 1. Now it's Jackson. And this is going to be incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
And his kick is good. He got every bit of that one as it's good from 56 yards out. These kickers now, it used to be that a 50-plus yarder was cause for celebration. Now seemingly automatic.
Yeah, isn't it funny when we prepare for a game, when you look at the backgrounds of these kickers, it's interesting, isn't it, to find out they were all-state quarterbacks, receivers, defensive backs, all-state wrestlers, right? Baseball players. We're finding athletes all along, and now they're just specialists putting it through the posts.
Tannehill and the Dolphins break the huddle. Come up 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. Here's the first carry for Kenyon Drake. And he'll work his way across the 30 to the 32. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3. Charles, they won last week despite him not running the ball well. They told us need to get him going. Runs like that help.
And they talked to us about leaning on him because, as you noted, last week they didn't have to. Still won the ball game. They leaned on other people to give them the yardage that they needed, but they really want him to be that guy, and that's what they're doing early in this game.
We got three, fellas. We got three.
On 2nd down, it's Drake, and he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that, got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
Hey, 20. Go, zero.
Back to throw, Tannehill. He's going to look deep down the field. And that is caught one-handed. Oh, my, he pulled it in. And all the way in for a Miami touchdown. A big play there with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Dolphins are going to take a first-quarter lead. Jason Sanders now for the extra point. Extra point up and good by Sanders. And that makes it a 7-3 lead. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. Here's Khalif Raymond to return. And he's into the clear. The 40, the 20, 10, and he will score. Touchdown, Baltimore. In for the score. And the Ravens are in for 6. I know a lot of special teams coaches, they just want to keep it away from him because that's what he can do.
And others have egos that their players can't keep up with. And they say, challenge him, kick it to him. The way he runs as fast as he is, I wouldn't challenge him at all. I'd do everything possible to keep it away.
He is just a blur when he gets a full head of steam, and he got a full head of steam there. Tucker able to connect on the extra point, and the lead is now 10-7. So let's try this again. After the kick return TD, here's yet another kickoff. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. And out come the Dolphins now. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked. but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
Tannehill and the Dolphins break the huddle. Come up 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. Drake will start the drive on the ground. And they're able to get this one across the 35. Right off the bat, it's a first down to start the drive, 12 yards.
And that run was what a lot of people call an explosive run. Gave them good yardage, solid yardage. They feel good about the whole thing, and they did it behind a 2 tight end set. It's always interesting to watch what offenses want to do with the 2 tight ends. Sometimes they line them up together for a power set. Sometimes they put one on each side of the line of scrimmage to balance things out. No matter what, though, when you see 2 tight ends on the field, your first thought is to think run. In this case, the offense was able to run successfully. A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
Drake off the give from Tannehill. That one good for 13 and a Dolphin first down. Getting the sense, Charles, they're going to put a big emphasis this afternoon on the run game.
And why not? What we're seeing so far, working pretty well from them. And here's the best part. We always talk about the best performers do their job when the lights come on. I think he likes natural light best.
So in Raven territory now. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 45-yard line.
4 down, 4 down. Set. 28.
Tannehill hands to Drake. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Deuce.
Now a handoff for Drake, and he'll go down here at the 35-yard line. Only a gain of a yard, but that's all they needed, as that's going to move the chains.
Well, they came into this game saying it was important that they set the tone and show that they can run the football. And I believe that they've done that here in the first quarter.
All runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10.
57. Mike, 57. Let's go, get set. Hey, 20. Go, zero.
Tannehill on 1st down. Going for the deep ball. And that one falls incomplete. Looked like he might have had position there, but he couldn't hold on at 2nd down.
A lot of contact there, but there was no way it appeared that he was going to get a flag on that one. Looking for it, but he wasn't going to get it. And as an ex-defensive back, you love it when they let you play and jostle downfield.
Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 35.
Deuce. Play. Hey, check, Mike. Hey, 20.
2nd and 10. Tannehill once more. He's going to wind up and air it out. And not only did he drop it, he dropped it in the end zone. Those passes out that far wide always make you hold your breath a little bit. Felt like it was in the air for a while.
What it does is it allows a defender to gain some ground, come from a long distance, and have a chance to affect the pass.
This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10.
3 down, 3 down. Hey, check, check. 3 down, 3 down. Right there, right there. Hip, hip, hip. Boys and Mike. Hip, hip, hip. Play, play.
So that'll back them up 5. Now they face a 3rd and 15 here following the delay of game.
We out. Go, 28. Tight right. Go, 0. 50. Hey, 20.
Now Tannehill. He sets to fire deep. And incomplete. He can't hang on. Would have been a nice catch. Instead, it brings up a 4th down.
Well, it certainly appears that they're going to try and keep getting him the football. That's the 3rd time they've looked in his direction. Unfortunately, haven't completed one yet, but I'm not sure they're going to shy away from him. They feel like they've got something there, and they want to capitalize on it.
I think you're right. We're only in the 1st quarter, so a lot of opportunities ahead. He punted 5 times in the win last week as this one's away. 2nd quarter now. Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis with you. It's the Ravens who have the football as they take over following the punt with a 1st and 10. Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 at the 20. The drive starts with a run by Collins. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. That's a good way to start the drive. 17 yards and a 1st down.
Partner, I remember a coaching friend of mine used to tell his running backs before games, make sure you run and jog with your offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking when those big behemoths start to create space for you up front. He did a pretty good job of just following those guys through there for a nice explosive run.
One play has him to the 37 here for 1st and 10. On 1st, they go right back to Collins. And he'll get this up to about the 38-yard line. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Cameron Wake makes plays like that look simple because I think he plays with excellent leverage. Really does a nice job of being lower than the offensive guys trying to block him and gets underneath them and goes up and down the line of scrimmage to make those types of plays.
And kept him to a short run play there.
No. Check, Patrick.
On 2nd down, here's Jackson. A hit as he throws there, incomplete.
Nothing open downfield, and he had to get that one out in a hurry because he just knew he was about to take a big shot. Probably couldn't get his legs into the throw. Became an all-arm throw trying to check it down to his running back. Incomplete.
After an incomplete pass on 2nd down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9.
No. Check, Patriot.
Jackson from the shotgun. Flushed out right. He's got his man on the crossing route. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. A big 3rd down conversion with a gain of 28. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10.
Watch it now, Barney. All right, now, look at.
Here's a first down run with Collins. And that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down. Maybe just a slight detour on what's been a strong drive. Here's 2nd and 11.
Hurry up, here we go. Boom.
Now Jackson on 2nd down. Looking for Snead, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Xavier Howard, and they will take over at the 26-yard line. Unfortunately for him, if last week was any indication, we knew a pick was coming at some point. Last week it was interception after interception, and here we go again.
We actually quit counting last week at a certain point because I thought I was going to run out of fingers, all right, because I'm not all that skilled as a mathematician. But you're right. It felt like a matter of time, and you've got to think the guys on defense, they couldn't wait for this opportunity after what they saw on tape.
They'll start the drive with Drake. And he'll go down right at the 30-yard line. Call it a gain of 4 on 1st, and that'll make it 2nd down.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on 2nd down.
Under 4 to go now as the clock runs, and they come up on 2nd down.
Zebra. Clay.
On 2nd down, here's Tannehill. He dumps it off to Drake. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. Give him 15 yards on that one, and the Dolphins have a 1st down.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out in a zone blitz, he's going to win that battle just about every time.
And across midfield he goes into Raven territory. A solid run on 1st down, gain of 7, leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on 1st down, that fits the bill.
On the give, this is Drake. And he'll go down shy of the 40 at the 41. It's a pickup of 6 and good enough to move the chains.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
2 minutes remain here in the 1st half. We'll come back to Miami after this. 2 first downs have them up to the 41 now for 1st and 10. On 1st down, Drake. And he'll take this one down to about the 40. Tackle made there by Tony Jefferson.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
They'll try the air now with Tannehill. And the Raven pressure too much. Down he goes.
Enough takes a start to have a good drive. Quite like a big loss on a sack, does it?
Now they're looking at a 3rd and long, and suddenly the momentum shifted to the other side of the football.
And old Mo is a very, very fickle man.
So after the sack of Tannehill, the Dolphins come up here on a 3rd and long.
Hey. We got three. Three down. Hip. Hey, 20. Zebra. Hip.
Now it's Tannehill. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. Here's Matt Hawk now as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. This is taken around the 12. 36 yards on the punt with no return. And the Ravens will get it. 1st and 10 from deep in their own territory. And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
All right, now, Lucky 56.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. Dancing to his left. The quick feet by Jackson. Able to find a lot of empty space there, picking up the 1st down at a 21-yard gain.
I think the last 2 plays really illustrate how difficult it is to game plan against this guy because he can throw the football, but how about his use of legs as well? What we call those broken plays, you can't account for them.
Yeah, those plays, those 2 that you just mentioned, a microcosm really of how he can hurt you. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33.
Detroit! Hurry up, here we go. 3-19.
Throwing now, Jackson on 1st down. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Cameron Wake in there to get him, and that's sack number 8 for him on the year. Got to assume this defense will be charging again here. It's 2nd and 15. Here's Jackson. Eluding the pressure right. It's brought in here by Willie Snead. A really good pickup of 28 yards. That's what we're used to seeing from him right there. Plays like that, why he's number 4 in the league in terms of receiving yardage.
Able to make adjustments all along the way. Doesn't matter where he lines up, where he releases from. Working his way into the secondary. Figures out defenses and finds weak spots in order to get open.
They'll throw on 1st down with Jackson. Buying time to his left. He'll get just a yard on the scramble. It's 2nd down.
He was able to get away earlier in the drive, but apparently all the time they put in practice finally came to the front, didn't it? They remembered their lessons and found a way to contain him when he took off on that one.
All right, now, Lucky 56. Now, let's go. Blue 90.
Now Jackson to throw on 2nd down. The Dolphins get there this time, and they bring him down. And now maybe they want some extra time to talk about this third and long play as we'll get a timeout. As they'll stop the clock with 12 seconds to go in this first half. And on third down, a nickel formation here defensively. From the gun, it's Jackson. Looking deep downfield. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Minka Fitzpatrick. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half. The final shot here before the break. Tannehill flush to his right. Now he'll let it go deep right side. And the defense has it covered. It's intercepted. Picked off here by Jimmy Smith. So we've come upon halftime here in Week 17 as we send you up to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman and our EA Sports Halftime Report. The final two quarters of the NFL regular season are upon us as the second half of Week 17 is underway. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Out comes the Dolphins now. They'll go on offense first here in this third quarter. And last time wasn't pretty. One play and an interception. We'll see if they can do better.
I want to see if they want to go ahead and throw the ball again now on this drive after what happened on the last one. Throw it on the first play. Give the quarterback some confidence.
See what happens. Tannehill and the Dolphins break the huddle. Come up 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. A give to Drake running left. And he'll go down right at the 30-yard line. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be second down.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain considering the blitz that they just had against them.
Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. To throw on 2nd down is Tannehill. Steps away to his left. Tannehill able to take off and pick up the first as well. The last drive, remember, similar situation. He forced the ball into coverage through the pick. He learned better there.
Yeah, similar to a golfer that's confronted with a shot that you just can't make. Sometimes you have to take your medicine, as they say, right? Just pull it down, take off, and go. Don't make something worse than what it was.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
Get set.
They'll get it to Drake, running left. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. Well, if you look where that play starts, O-line versus D-line, that was a battle won by the D-line.
Yeah, and oftentimes it's won by quickness off the ball. Who can handle the guy across from them best? On that play, the defensive line did exactly that.
Right back to Drake. And able to get this one all the way up to about the 46-yard line. A good run as he works his way for 9 that time, and it'll leave him with a 3rd and just a few inches. The offense on 3rd down tonight, just 1 for 3 thus far. They're looking at 3rd in the nose of the football.
Receiver. Play. 50.
Just beating the play clock now. It's Tannehill. He's going to let this one go deep. And this is taken in at the 5. And he just falls short down at the 1-yard line. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. After the big play, a chance to finish now on 1st and goal. And now a sneak, Tannehill. And he is in. Touchdown, Miami. Ryan Tannehill, his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Dolphins are in for 6. And they wasted no time right down near the goal line, and they just sneak it in.
Just do what you need to do. Big guys going up front. Have the field general, the leader, just falling behind him.
Extra point up and good by Sanders. And the lead is now 14-10. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. Raymond now on the return. Get it up to the 29-yard line. The Ravens offense getting ready now for their first possession of the second half. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve. And room to run as he's out past the 35-yard line. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Lucky 56.
And again, it's Collins. And now running right through it. Finding some room at midfield. And finally brought down at the 43. That's good for 21 yards and a 1st down.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
They run with Collins. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on 1st down.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
Detroit!
On 2nd down, Collins. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. After a gain of 5, they'll wind up being about a length of the football short here on 3rd down. They'll try and run forward with Collins. And he's able to get the first here as he's taken down at the 25. It goes as a gain of 8, and it moves the chains.
Brandon, what were they thinking on defense there? They looked like they were playing for the pass. That was 3rd and short. Yeah, it was an easy pickup because they handed it to him. That was way too easy.
Just looked like absolute confusion defensively. Not sure why they were in that set.
Yeah, I'd say you ought to have a few men in the box there.
All runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10. On the give, this is Collins running left. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down. Maybe just a slight detour on what's been a strong drive. Here's 2nd and 11.
Detroit! Detroit!
And now Jackson will look to throw it. Escaping, and he's going to be taken down. They sack him on what will be the final play of quarter number 3. Back now in Miami. It's the Ravens with possession of the football, but trailing on the big board as we get set for the 4th. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. From the gun, Jackson. He uncorks it for Snead. So they took a shot there on 3rd down, couldn't get it. Now it's 4. Defensively, you said coming in earlier in the broadcast, the magic number was 20 points for you. That's what you thought they would have to hold this offense to, or less than that. And, wow, they've done that in a big way, haven't they?
And not only have they done it, they put themselves in a great position to win this one because holding them down was paramount. If they could get it done, well, guess what? We see the end result. Right now, they have their eye on victory.
And leading here in the 4th. And Tucker's kick right there. It's good. And the lead is down to 1 now at 14-13. So with that field goal, this one's now back within a field goal. Maybe not the ultimate result they wanted, but gets them that much closer.
This game is unfolding like a really good book, isn't it? Because I feel like there's a few more plot twists yet to be revealed before this one is over.
And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line just across the 25. Out comes the Miami offensive unit now. They get set to take over. I guess the good news as they start this drive is that they still do have the lead, Charles. If their defense hadn't been able to hold them to a field goal on the other side, they'd be down. But now it's about preserving that very small lead.
It is preserving and maybe stretching it out a little bit. Because if you're a starter on that side of the ball, I certainly hope you didn't loosen up your shoulder pads or start to cut the tape off. Because if you did, you did it way too soon. They've got to go back out there with renewed vigor, for lack of a better term, and also a good plan. They need points, and they need them now.
Running, it's Drake. And he'll push his way forward to about the 32. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
Well, Brandon, pace comes into play now because they've got the advantage. They've got the football, but they've got to be very careful about what speed they're going to play. You know, my music teacher back in New Paltz, Mrs. Bythema Bagley, used to say, don't go prestissimo when you really want to go largo. And what she meant by that is don't go too fast when you really want to go at a nice, slow, deliberate pace.
I am speechless. I am without speech. Here's Tannehill now on 2nd down. And that'll be incomplete. The tight end, Luke Wilson, was the target. And it's 3rd and 4.
Well, they're slinging it. And then there's one you got to put a timer on, huh? I mean, that one came in hot.
That came in hot, but overthrown, out of his reach, and incomplete. The Dolphins on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 4.
20. It's
Tannehill. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
I think he had to unload that one before he wanted to. He was right up in his grill. I think he was a dentist there without a license, don't you?
Just not enough time for the play to develop. Just lucky it wasn't a fumble, really. Here's Matt Hawk now as he's on to punt for Miami. And he uncorks a beauty. Best of the day. This is fielded inside the 5. A big kick there. We'll call it 56 yards on the punt. And the offense will come back out deep in their own territory. The Ravens offense now, they get set and head back onto the field. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted. And we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. And they work this out past the 25. Good yardage as he rumbles for 24 and a first.
Another carry for their leader and a good one. It's crunch time. They'll need him to continue to be productive in both the run and passing game in order for them to try and snatch a victory.
We saw a number of good games earlier today. This one might top all of those. It's been a dandy as we come up on 1st and 10.
All right, here we go. Blue landed. Blue landed.
Movement there on the offensive line, a little quick, and a 5-yard penalty. The crowd's not doing that O-line any favors.
Home field advantage is really kicking in, making it very difficult for them to hear the snap count.
A false start backs them up 5, 1st and 15.
Lucky 56. Detroit!
Jackson drops it underneath for Collins. And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. It'll be a gain of 6, and it's a 2nd down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means they have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Blue landed. Blue landed.
To throw on 2nd down, Jackson. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
The Ravens on 3rd down, 2 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 9. Now it's Jackson. And he finds a man with a crossing route. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. A big 3rd down conversion with a gain of 28. A couple of first downs has the football positioned at the 43 as they come up 1st and 10. Offensive line wasn't set. There's the flag, and 5 yards back they go.
Quarterback has to look around and make sure that his team is ready to go. Sometimes the quarterbacks go faster than is necessary.
A false start backs him up 5, 1st and 15.
Gun! Hurry up, here we go. Blue landed. Blue landed. Watch him now, Barney.
Jackson will throw again. He gets this one to Michael Crabtree. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. A good pickup there, 26 yards. This quarterback now 5 straight completions here in this second half, 1st and 10.
Hurry up, here we go. Green 39, green 39.
Now a give to Collins. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. 5 yards is the tally on 1st down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old-school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run. Got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
Saw it through 3 quarters. No reason to lighten up now. And with the play clock getting closer to 0, John Harbaugh is going to call a timeout. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the 4th quarter. They go again with Collins. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. 5 yards on the pickup, and that is going to set up a 3rd and 1.
Frustrating for a defense, energizing for an offense. Finding a way to create that type of yardage in your running game, that'll make the guys carrying the ball very, very happy.
Time for a break. We'll come back for the electrifying conclusion after this. Here we go, 3rd and 1. Gut check time on both sides.
Watch it now, Barney, Barney. Watch it now, Barney, Barney.
Here's Collins. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Ravens touchdown. Alex Collins, his 14th touchdown now on the year. And the Ravens have taken the lead here in the 4th quarter.
Hurry up, here we go. Blue line.
And now whistles and a flag, and I think we got a jump here. That makes this much more manageable. They'll move it from the 2 to the 1.
Totally manageable because many teams from the 2 want to throw the ball. But you put it at the 1, the running game is totally back in play.
Now a big play here as the Ravens are going to go for the 2-point conversion. Now Jackson. And incomplete. Protection was great. He had time to set up a campsite. But in the secondary, though, they were ready.
And I think that in most places on the field, if you have that much time to throw the ball, someone's going to shake free and you'll find an open receiver. But condensed near the goal line on a 2-point conversion, all that extra, there's not any extra field. So it kind of closes in.
Now on the return, oh no, the ball is loose. But this will get out of bounds, so possession will stay the same.
Now I have to admit, partner, that I've often thought that I don't like this rule, where the offensive player fumbles the ball, it goes out of bounds, and they get to keep it.
That's just because you're a defensive guy. That's why you don't like it.
Yeah, you're right. It is a slanted view, isn't it?
But this is where, for the offensive team, the sideline is their friend. Usually it's not their friend.
Yeah, exactly right. I actually played for a guy in college. You know what he used to name the sideline? Sammy. Sammy sideline, and use him well.
They'll run with Drake. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. The linebacker, C.J. Mosley, in on the stop.
Not in a position where they absolutely have to rush right now, but they definitely have to pick up the tempo a bit.
They'll look to throw. That's caught by his big tight end, Mike Gesicki. And he'll get this one way up just shy of the 45-yard line. And now before this first down play, we're going to get a timeout here, as they'll get a chance to talk it over after picking up the first down.
Hustle, we're walking. We're all walking. Hey, 20. Hip. Hey, 20.
He's back to throw. Flushed out right. And he's got his tight end. This is Luke Wilson. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down. That's what they need right now. Get the first down, get out of bounds, stop the clock.
Just playing smart football, understanding the situation, making the plays necessary, and making sure that clock stops at every opportunity.
Now Drake, and he's going to be met at about the 43. The former Charger All-Pro Eric Weddle on the stop.
I like the call there because that was one to take time off the clock and get them closer to getting out of here with a W. In the mind of the play caller, all you want to hear is tick, tick, tick.
Hey, 20. Hurry. Tiger. Zebra.
He'll look to throw. Looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Grant, and he'll go down here at the 35-yard line. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face third down. The Dolphins on third down, 2 for 5 to this point. They're up against a 3rd-and-1 situation.
Zebra. Play. Zebra.
Back to throw. He's going to let it fly. And a shot taken on third down, unsuccessful. 4th down now. So this defense, they looked a little shaky to start the drive, but bottom line, they're a play away from finishing it off.
They rocked them a little bit on this drive, didn't they? But as you and I both know, it's not how you start, it's how you finish. They have a chance to end it right here.
And down by 5, they've got to go for it here on 4th down.
Zebra.
They'll run. It's Drake. And, boy, this is going to be close. That mark looks a little short, and he didn't get there. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and the Ravens are looking like they're going to come away with a victory. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on first down. The Ravens taking a knee with victory seemingly in hand here. A road win in the National Football League. Charles, you never take that for granted no matter who you're playing, no matter where you're playing.
You take it and you run with it. And you know you primed the pump all week in your own home facility. No one thinks we can do this. Only people who believe are right here in this room. And then you go on the road, band together, and get it done.
So for the Ravens, a final win here means they'll finish at 14-2. And now they'll have the week off as they get set to go after a Super Bowl title. Meanwhile, for the Dolphins, we'll have to see what happens as they're going to finish the year 10-6. And it's going to be wait-and-see time as they figure out their status for the upcoming playoffs. That'll do it for us. I'm Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. Thanks to our entire crew as well. We'll talk to you next time. So long, everybody.